The Ready Indiana Concierge came about as a result of a grant that was given to the Chamber to address workforce skills through helping employers develop their employees. It was a result of a study that found that for a large percentage of our population, working age Hoosiers, many of them have basic skills deficits that would present a challenge if they were to have to go into post-secondary retraining or skills training, or perhaps if they lost their job and needed to job search and have skills for a new career. So as it evolved, as the concierge service became available and employers began to call and email for assistance, it became more clear to me that their needs were not just in the basic skill arena. Their needs were to find applicants for a variety of positions, occupations at a variety of skill levels. In large part, employers are looking for funding to help with training initiatives that they've identified as important. Sometimes they're looking for training providers. Sometimes they're looking for curriculum to grow their own internally and through their own training. All of those are things that I still help employers connect to. You've got various systems in Indiana that address workforce development and even things like adult education. That's workforce development through the Department of Workforce Development and their regional Work One centers. That's economic development through the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Both of those groups have training grants for employers that are sizable and can have a big impact on their training budget. And then of course we work with Ivy Tech and Vincennes, the public providers of workforce training in our state, just to help employers save time in figuring out what do I qualify for, what programs meet the needs that we have right now, and who do I talk to. Seen plenty of stories about employers saying we can't find the workers that we need, whether it's basic qualifications, whether it's advanced degrees. As we're doing these workshops around the state, these luncheons, we hear from employers in every instance that are experiencing these same issues still today. As you look at the headlines, they go back for the last 2 or 3 years. So this is not a new problem, but it is still a current problem. And yet, we as the state chamber, we convene employers and talk about these issues. I do a survey every year of employers statewide, all for the purpose of helping relay employers' needs to the groups that are developing the workforce. What we did with the Indiana Skills site is we said, let's go straight to the source and let's look at the job postings. So we have demand data on this site that comes from 2 years of job postings throughout Indiana. We have decided to keep it for now at a middle skills level. So when we looked at all of those job postings that were placed, we kind of set aside any posting that requested a bachelor's degree. Not that those aren't important, and we plan to address that later, but we want this site to address a middle skills gap. A lot of research shows that middle skilled job demand in our state exceeds the supply of workers that have a middle skills credential. So a middle skills credential could be an industry certification that a person has in addition to a high school diploma. It could be an associate's degree. It could even be a technical certificate, which a lot of people don't know exists. These 1-year programs at places like Ivy Tech and Vincennes that build and count towards an associate's degree. But yet, when you put on your resume and in an interview, you talk to an employer about the skills you gained in that 1-year certificate program, you definitely have an advantage over someone that doesn't have those. So we've looked at all of those job ads that fit that level of career, and we've ranked what are the job titles most frequently requested by employers, and then we've divided that up by region. So here in Region 1, you could find the list of what came out in those job postings as the top 10 all the way down to the very bottom of the list. And then you can drill down into what were the skills, specialized and basic skills, and the certifications that employers mentioned in those job ads. First, go to indianaskills.com, .org, .net. I think we have every domain possible. And so go there, look at the site. You can contact us through that site, but we have a group on LinkedIn, so I would encourage, get on LinkedIn and search for, you can either search for Ready Indiana or Indiana Skills, both names bring up our group. We have a lot of, it's growing, I mean, almost every day we have new people joining that group. What we do there is simply put out interesting snippets of information, about one a week, nothing that's overwhelming, yet it's a way to digest all the data that's on that site in small chunks, and it stimulates discussion. My passion is to get into the schools with this information so that students and counselors can start to inform their activities with labor market information. As I've met with guidance counselors and I ask the question, what sort of labor market information do you look at? It seems that on average, they're not using labor market information as a tool to guide students. They may not really know what it is or what sources provide that, and especially the different types of labor market data that are out there federally. But here within our state, this is a unique tool. It's across the country that we've developed here. So high school guidance counselors, high school students, career and tech ed centers, absolutely. They do a great job of including industry certifications in their pathways now. We want students to know, well, what jobs are asking for that credential that you have? And the post-secondary system. Before students commit to a specific major or program, we want to work with both the career services, the enrollment counselors, the academic advisors to make sure they understand this is just one piece of information, but it can influence them in a good way. We want students to experience success upon graduation. We want that 40 or 50-year-old person that unfortunately may have been laid off to start over. I hope that this site can be useful for people like that are thinking, I've got a little time and a little money and I've got to get back on board with a new career.